On this webinar on pushing data to the cloud using a micro OCS. So as usual, we'll go into the presentation. I think it's roughly a 10-minute presentation today. And post that if you have any questions, we can get to those at the end. Or if you're watching this back and you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with technical support and we'll help you out from there.
Hello and welcome to today's webinar. In this webinar, we will show you how to add a micro OCS or CPU 200 or 250 to the OCS360 Cloud service. Previously, this feature was limited to the Prime and Canvas series, but now we are adding micro OCS compatibility to that lineup. Here is the agenda for today. We will start with a quick review of OCS360. Then, we will discuss the requirements for adding the Micro OCS or CPU 200/250 to the OCS360 Cloud service. And we will look at the available data plans for this service. Then, we will go through the step-by-step demonstration of adding a Micro OCS or CPU 200/250 to the OCS360 Cloud service. And, to finish, if you have any questions, we will answer them in the Q&A segment at the end. Let's begin. What is OCS360? OCS360 is a cloud service provided by Horner. It allows you to push data from your Horner controller to the cloud. OCS360 is a very powerful solution with a wide range of features, including up to 5 years of data recording, dashboarding capabilities, and alarm annunciation or notification via emails or text messages. OCS360 requires a subscription per controller to an annual data plan. This can be paid yearly or monthly. How does OCS360 push data to the cloud? Horner OCS controllers use MQTT to push variables to the OCS360 Cloud. This process is quite automated and requires very little setup. In Cscape, program variables to be pushed to the OCS360 Cloud can simply be checked in the Program Variables window. Then, at runtime, they will be published and sent to the cloud. While most data will be published by the OCS itself, OCS360 can also send data back to the OCS, although this does require extra configuration. What are the requirements for adding a micro OCS or CPU 200/250 to the OCS360 Cloud service? Firstly, you need Cscape version 10.2 Service Pack 3 or later. Then, you will need a supported controller, which includes the X4, the X7, the X10, the CPU 200, or the CPU 250. Then, they will need to be updated to firmware version 16.3 or later. Your controller will also require an internet connection. This can be wired or over Wi-Fi. Finally, you will need an OCS360 subscription per controller. What plans are available for OCS360? There are many plans available on our website, hornerautomation.eu, but one of the most popular is the Silver plan. This allows for up to 250 variables to be uploaded per minute, which should be more than enough for a typical operation. This also comes with unlimited dashboarding, unlimited email notifications, and up to 2 years of data retention. This plan costs €240 per year, but this can also be paid monthly on our website. If you have specific requirements, we also offer custom packages on request. If you want a detailed guide on how to set up an OCS360 subscription plan, you can watch one of our previous webinars, Getting Started with OCS360. This is available on our YouTube channel or via the link shown on this slide. Now, we are going to go through the demonstration of how to add a micro OCS or CPU 200/250 to the OCS360 Cloud. We are going to go step by step and cover everything you'll need to know. To begin, make sure your Cscape version is 10.2 Service Pack 3 or later, and ensure that your controller is running firmware version 16.3 or later. Once that's been complete, then, in Cscape, open Hardware Configuration and set up LAN 1 for IP address, net mask, and gateway, and configure LAN 1 to the IP address, net mask, and gateway of your controller. Next, open the Program Variables table and you should see an OCS360 column is available. Check the OCS360 option for each variable you want to push to the cloud. Next, with these variables selected, we now need to configure how they get pushed to the cloud. In the Project Navigator, double-click OCS360 under Networking. This will open the OCS360 configuration window. There are a couple important things to notice in this menu. Firstly, verify that the current ID is the one you want to use for your program. This should automatically be set correctly if you are logged in to Cscape with the same Horner ID that has your OCS360 subscription linked to it. But if you have multiple Horner accounts with OCS360 subscriptions, you might need to manually adjust this. Then set your update to the desired type and interval for publishing. Remember, you can create up to 5 different groups of variables, each with their own type and interval. So, if you require certain variables to use a different update type and interval, you can do that with a separate group. If you have variables that are to be written back to the controller from OCS360, you will need a subscribe group. This group should contain all the variables that can be written to by the cloud. With that finished, we can now download the program to our controller. Once it's complete, you can close Cscape and move over to the controller. From the controller system menu, under Networks, make a note of the MAC address of your controller. If you're using a CPU 200 or 250, this information can be found in System Registers 35 and 36. Horner MAC addresses all start the same way, with 00E0 for all controllers. The rest is controller specific. With that noted down, we can now move back to our computer. Open your web browser and navigate to the OCS360 website. Log in to OCS360 and then under Devices, add a new controller. Log in to your OCS360 account and then under Devices, click Add New Controller. Give it a name and then under MAC addresses, type in the MAC address you noted down earlier. Check the Confirm MAC address button before clicking Add. Now, you should see your controller appear in Devices under the name you have given it. To initiate a connection, however, we will now need to power cycle the controller and wait until it shows active under device status on OCS360. However, once that appears, your controller will be successfully set up and ready to push machine data to the OCS360 Cloud. That's everything you need to know about how to push machine data to the cloud from your Micro Series or CPU 200/250 controller. Before we end today's webinar, we are going to show you a quick demonstration of this in action in the field. Here we have a demonstration set up in the field. This demo program is running on a Micro X7 controller. One of the great advantages of OCS360 is the response time. This demonstration is set up to show that off. We can press this on-off button on our controller and watch how quickly OCS360 reacts. There is very little delay at all when using the OCS360 connection. That concludes our webinar for today. We hope this demonstration was helpful and inspires you to take advantage of OCS360 on your Micro Series or CPU 200/250 controllers in the future. Thank you so much for listening, and the Q&A session will begin shortly.
Okay. Again, if you have any questions, just feel free to put them in or get in touch with us afterwards if needs be. Our upcoming webinars, the registration links are all up. So as usual, if you'd like to see what's coming up and register for those, they're available on the website under the support section. Okay, I don't see anything on that. I think we can leave it there. Thank you all for joining. We'll see you next time.